It looks like we have another sneaker bidding war because Adidas has made a 13-year, $200 million offer to James Harden. We know he was under the Nike umbrella for years now, but his contract has ended, and Adidas has made an offer of $200 million over 13 years, and now Nike will have 1 week to decide if they want to match that. And in my estimation, Nike has a tough decision on their hands. Yes, James Harden is a star, but is he a superstar? Is he worthy of $200 million from Nike, the greatest basketball shoe company in America? I'll answer that question next. Welcome back to the Best Damn Sports Blog. Back again, it's time to talk NBA with you guys, along with sneakers, which is another obsession of mine. I wouldn't consider myself a sneakerhead because I just think that terminology is corny, but I do have a passion for sneakers, and I do know a lot about them. But let's get back to the news. Adidas is trying to make a big splash by signing James Harden. They offered him a 13-year, $200 million contract to join Adidas. Nike will have 1 week to match that offer. And I gotta be honest, Nike is in a tough spot right here. We know Nike runs the basketball game when it comes to shoe sales. I believe they make up about 90% of all basketball shoe sales because we know Jordan Brand is also under the Nike umbrella. So they have that market basically in their pocket. Do they necessarily need James Harden? I don't necessarily know. I mean, Jordan Brand alone carries enough weight that Nike will be just fine. But then on top of that, Nike has the 3 biggest marketable names in the NBA currently to their roster. LeBron James, King James. His shoe sales are astronomical right now, and he leads out of all current NBA players when it comes to sales. You have Kevin Durant, who's second in sales of current NBA players. Then you have Kobe Bryant. I mean, we know he's most likely out of the league after next year, but even so, Kobe has a name that can continue despite him retiring when it comes to his shoe line. Kobe is a legend, and his shoes also sell very well as well. So when it comes to Nike needing James Harden, I'm not 100% sure. They still have Kyrie Irving, an up-and-coming star for the Cavaliers who just had his first signature shoe last season. Still got Paul George who might be able to get a signature. Now James Harden, he was rocking the Nike Hyper Chase this year, which what I thought was a signature, but technically it wasn't. He did have PEs with the JH logo on his Hyper Chases, which I guess was Nike's way of experimenting with his name, seeing how those shoes would sell. Now, I just want to say this, as it goes for Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, I think honestly Nike could sell those 3 players' shoes for the next 20 years and still have a hold on the basketball market. They could just retro the LeBrons, retro the Kobes, start retroing KDs, which us people who love sneakers are waiting for a LeBron retro. We're waiting for Kobe's 1 through 7 to retro. I honestly think Nike could capitalize just on that after those players retire. But I understand as a business, they want to stay in tune with the now. So they want to continue to bring in great players to the Nike brand and also elevate some players that they already have on their brand. James Harden is an up-and-coming star in the NBA. He was the runner-up to Steph Curry and MVP, made it to the Western Conference Finals leading the Houston Rockets, and has even been in the NBA Finals. Plus, he has the whole beard thing going. So I believe he's a marketable player. He's a star, but I'm not sure if James Harden is a superstar. Will he ever reach the level of a LeBron, Kobe, or Kevin Durant when it comes to marketability and shoe sales? I doubt that. Can he rival Kyrie Irving? Maybe so. But the difference is Kyrie Irving isn't on a $200 million contract. And I'm pretty sure that matters to Nike. When you're giving someone $200 million, I think you want them to be at least one of the top 3 faces in the NBA. I would not consider James Harden the top 3 face in the NBA. Now, when it comes to Adidas standpoint, I understand this wholeheartedly. The German sneaker company is still trying to make a boom on the basketball market. They do have Derrick Rose. They do have Dame Lillard. They signed Andrew Wiggins. They also have John Wall. But other than Derrick Rose, I don't believe any of those players are on the level of James Harden. Now, if Adidas does indeed sign James Harden, I don't think all of a sudden now they made a big wave in the basketball market and now their shoes are going to be selling off the racks. But James Harden would be a great addition to their roster, an up-and-coming player who's already established himself as a star. Because Adidas, as a company trying to make an imprint on the market, you need as many big names as you can get. And James Harden is definitely a top 5 to 7 player in the NBA, and he's probably one of the top 7 most popular names in the NBA. So adding him to their roster is a plus, and Adidas has made a big wave in 2015 with the Prime Knit, the Boost technology, Flyweave technology. They've been making a great imprint. They added Kanye West to their line, which brings even more prestige. So Adidas is on the right track, and I 100% understand why they're offering the $200 million over 13 years for James Harden. For them, that is not overpaying. When it comes to Nike, it may be. Now, what makes this difficult though for Nike is the fact that they lost Stephen Curry to Under Armour, who then went on to win MVP and also an NBA Finals. There are reports that Nike executives are upset by the fact that Stephen Curry is with Under Armour. And when they let him go a season ago, he wasn't an MVP. He wasn't an NBA champ. They didn't want to pay him. Under Armour came in, swooped him up, and the rest is history. The fact that Nike lost Steph Curry, an eventual MVP, an eventual NBA champion, is the reason I think Nike will indeed match this offer and bring James Harden back. They do not want to suffer that again, seeing a player that was on their roster under the Nike umbrella go on to a new sneaker company where he wins the MVP, the finals, or whatever. That's a huge loss for Nike. Let's not forget Under Armour tried to swoop up Kevin Durant as well last offseason. Nike had to give him $300 million, somewhere around there over 10 years. They weren't letting him get away. But now that they saw Steph Curry do what he did, they don't want that to happen again where they miss out on the next big name. And James Harden has the potential to be the next big thing in the NBA. Nike doesn't want to miss out on that. So I think they'll reluctantly match his offer, bring James Harden back, and hope he duplicates what Steph Curry did or near what Steph Curry did so that their investment pays off.